I would love to know how the two of you actually first connected. What's your connection
Uh,
in real life, and how did things evolve with the trouble
Good
with Billy?
story. Good story. I'll
Well,
let Billy.
yeah. So, her boyfriend was my best friend. This is, a long time ago. He passed away. We were just really good friends. We met, in LA, and he was a professional UFC fighter, and he was just starting his career in that world. So I knew a few people. I helped him out in that area, and we just became fast friends. And of course, his girlfriend, the love of his life, was Claudia. And so we all became friends. And as I was joking with Claudia last night, I was talking about the trouble with Billy way back then, saying, I'm going to do this TV series and you both are going to be in it. And they thought I was nuts. It was just a fantasy back then.
For me, it was like surreal because okay, first of all, his name was Evan. He was my husband, and I loved him so much. He had an amazing support system and great friends, and Billy just happened to be one of them. What he didn't know was that Billy was one of my first crushes on television. So Billy starred in TV series film called Doing Time on Maple Drive with Jim Carrey.
Yep.
It was a little film on TV prime time, but it had such an incredible impact on the LGBTQ community because of his character. And his portrayal of this character was so raw, and it was so unfiltered, and it hit home with so many of us who were still dealing with sexuality, gender, and not having the visibility that we have today, right? It was so controversial to have, a stud like Billy play an openly gay character on TV network. And I remember that show, and Billy's done so many movies, but for me, Doing Time on Maple Drive has a special place in my heart. And I really believe that my community still holds a special place in their heart for Doing Time on Maple Drive, which is why I love Billy so much, because he's such a fierce ally and advocate for my community. And he'll get into how I got into this series and show, but it just speaks to his character.
Yeah. And I started the trouble with Billy a long time ago, way before the LGBTQ thing was big, and I promised Claudia and Evan, and unfortunately Evan passed away. So actually,
Evan was supposed to be playing Costas Mandelar's character.
Costas Mandelar's role.
So Evan
So
was supposed to actually be playing Costas. Yeah.
yeah, it was based on Evan. Evan was the one that did that pot deal. That's a true story that got my money, and he lost all the money on a pot deal. I'm like, how do you lose? What? He goes, well, it's outdoor weed. I'm like, what? What? Well, they're all into indoor weed. Where's my $3,000? Sorry, Billy,
Trouble
but
with
no one
Billy.
wanted it.
That's the trouble with Billy.
So,
You know,
Evan was a
Evan
natural
was
star too.
doing, you know, legal, uh, horticulture of marijuana, and Billy was, investing into it. And, of course, Billy and his, the quirk about this whole show is that that's the trouble with Billy, right? Right. So, yeah, the characters in this show are amazing. There's an all-star cast, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. When I first began working on this project, I had a couple of scenes opposite Angus McFadden, right? And we all know Angus, right? He's an incredible actor. We know him from Bravehearts, but he's his and the Saw movies. I mean, he needs no introduction. He's an incredible actor.
Right.
And something about our connection that day, Angus was like, you really got to get Claudia more lines in this. And it and I'm so thrilled because next thing I know, Billy's like, type
Well,
away.
well, not only that, Claudia did a lot of improving. First of all, so I promised Claudia, I was like, "You're going to be in it." She has no real acting experience, with lines. This is like a scripted show, but she was just a natural. It was so weird about Claudia is we're doing this scene with Angus McFadden, who's been in 100 movies. He's a Britishly English trained stage actor. He's done Shakespeare on stage in London. He's the real deal, way more real than I am, right? And so but Claudia just sat there and just kept up with everybody and just ad-libbed. She was as if she wasn't, there was no camera there. Claudia was just being Claudia and just saying these lines that seemed to work. And Angus's first day on set, he raised the script up and he said, "This is dreck." And he threw it into the pool. And he said, "I'm not saying one line from your lousy script." But I love him. And that's just him. And he and Claudia just ad-libbed the whole thing. I hate to say that, but I can't take any responsibility for either one of their performances. They enhanced The Trouble with Billy 10 times with their own creativity. So it really does take a family when you work like that, a family, a community to build your show or your movie. It does. You let the artists do what they want to do, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be great. So I learned that. I know that, and that's
It
why I
was a
allowed.
great day. It was a great day. I got to like be in the presence of, really skilled actors and like feel like I can do my own thing and they appreciated it.
Yeah,
And I've tried to find myself into these spaces in my career. I started out modeling, but my passion is acting. And being a transgender actress is difficult, especially right now with this administration and everything going on, you know. But I found a space where I could be me and around people that celebrated me and saw, a light within me that trying to tell everybody about for years. So, it's great that, and Billy was like great. He was like, you were great, you were natural. We're gonna make some more lines for you. We're gonna develop your character into this.
yeah.
And that was just season one. I mean, where we go in season two, I'll let Billy tell you, but it's a lot.
I don't want to break. See, I don't want to talk about that just yet. It is great though, and she's got a great role in season two. And that is something I do want to touch upon very quickly. In that, when I started this 10 years ago, 8 years ago with Claudia and everybody, the whole LGBTQ thing was coming into its own.
Okay,
And
Billy, we got to get this right. We got to get this right one more time. Okay, ready?
what?
LGBTQ.
LGBTQ. Okay.
There we go.
Community. And then the crazy, most ironic thing, not so good, is our sales agent, who's very good, said, we're getting some resistance now because of possibly Claudia. I'm like, how is that possible? What are you talking about? This is the best thing about the show. He said, no, this new administration, all his friends are buying all the companies. All his friends are buying all, and we're getting pushback. I'm like, you're kidding. We're back in the Middle Ages again. So we're getting pushback on the
Crazy. It's
show.
crazy for someone like me who lived through the Matthew Shepherds and the Gwen Araujo's, and we fought to have hate legislation brought into the thing. It's the very thing that inspired me to do America's Next Top Model. And to be visible and to be out there to show the nation, to have compassion for our community and for specifically the trans community. And it was during a time when there were no protections, and yet I feel more silenced and under the foot of this administration, and my neck is under the foot of this administration so hard in this current time that it eclipses what I was going through back in the early 90s.
Yeah. we don't want to get too political, obviously, but yeah, so we've met some resistance. So between this and then of course I've got a pit bull, Twinkie, who plays Boo, starring it. The show is great, but a lot of people are like, "Wow, we don't want to promote pit bulls, or we don't want to promote." It's just one thing after another. I'm like, "Oh my God, this is the best show you will not see on TV."
And what I love about it, you made it your way. You pieced together the cast and your team with friends. Like obviously Randall is a huge champion of this, but seeing it all come together.
Tom Sizemore,
Yeah. Yeah.
Costas Manzalar, Billy
Billy Baldwin.
Baldwin. Come
Yeah.
on.
And yeah, and Angus McFadden. Angus did it for free, by the way. Angus didn't ask for $1. He worked 2 days solid on this, 12-hour days, never asked me for one penny.
Angus is great. Angus will always be great.
Yeah.
That man can, like, just being in his orbit and his atmosphere really leveled up whatever acting abilities that I had within me, and it elevated the whole set.
Yeah, and at the pool scene alone with Claudia and Angus and me, the pool scene is the craziest, and that was all, Angus had this clarinet with him and came to set with a clarinet. I'm like, what is he doing with the clarinet? It has nothing to do with the scene. I wrote this scene. There's no clarinet. And so it was out of control. And so that day, we're going through the scene and I'm jumping up and down and he pulls the clarinet out and he's not a great clarinet player. He just starts in the middle of the scene. This is nowhere near the script. And then Claudia gets up and starts dancing like a snake. She's like he's like the snake charmer and she's like the snake. And I'm like, I have to be honest, at the time I was outraged. I was
It
like,
worked. It worked.
what is going on? What
But
are
it
you
worked.
doing, Angus? But I just couldn't control him. Like, what? Okay, whatever. I just was like, well, this is over. I'm fit. I just got screwed. I just lost my 50 grand that I put into this thing. It's gone.
It
So
was
there
great,
it is.
Billy. It was great. It was great. You're gonna have to thank Angus for
I'm
that, like,
I've already thanked
improv.
him.
Yeah,
I've
he's
already thanked him
incredible.
a million times.
Well, what's so cool too is that it is based on true stories. It's
Yes.
based on, so it's only fitting that
Yes.
what would unfold on set and what would actually make it into the series is real life.
It's
I
real
mean,
life.
it's so
And that's the
cool.
trouble with Billy. So I just got all these things. I thought I better make lemonade with it. Otherwise, I'll be so depressed. My life is so tragic that I just better make fun of it
I
and have
can't
and,
believe you
and
look at
laugh.
it like that. Your life is like such an adventure every day. Every day. The people that you meet, the people that showed up for this film just because they know you and they know your character and they want to show up for you because they know that you're a good guy who deserves a win is remarkable. To get a Baldwin, Tom Sizemore. I mean, remember when we were shooting with Tom Sizemore? And let's like form like Tom Sizemore was an incredible actor. Incredible actor. Just we're not going to go into any disparaging, what he did for the art and the craft of acting
Yeah,
should be recognized.
yeah,
And the fact that he himself, through his turmoil, was like, I'm going to show up for Billy because that's the kind of guy that I want to show up for is a testament why The Trouble with Billy is such an all-stacked character cast.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What kind of show are we getting here? I mean, how would you break it down? What do you think is so fabulous about it, so outrageous? I mean, what do you feel like audiences are gonna just absolutely melt for?
Well, I think it's a very unique story. I think there's a lot of great comedy and a lot, it's really a dramedy. There's a lot of great drama. I think that the pit bull, my little girl, is the heart of the show.
Yes,
She's really
yes.
the heart. And just all these zany things that happen and based on facts. I mean, abduction, alien abduction. I mean, just going to AAA, which is Alien Abductees Anonymous. I mean, I've never seen that in a show, and people don't even know AAA exists, by the
And
way.
these are all things that are happening in Hollywood right now.
I know. And
Someone
I
is
could,
being abducted right now.
right, I
There's
couldn't,
an
I
alien
couldn't talk,
abduction happening in the hills right now.
right, I couldn't talk about this stuff 10, 15 years ago when it was actually happening to me. And it was, in the show, it happens in Topanga Canyon, but in reality, it's in Hudson Valley, New York, upstate New York. Millbrook, Pine Bush, and I can't remember the third area, Harriman, New York.
And
And
if you
so,
look into it,
oh
there
yeah,
are actual
oh no, but
events.
now I can talk about it. But before I had to say, oh no, it's not real. None of this stuff happened. Of course not. But so I really think, and the performances are like I said, Angus playing a clarinet in the middle of a scene. I mean, where are you going to see this? I don't think you're going to see this anywhere.
Let's
And
not forget the part where he's sucking my toes, which
okay,
wasn't even
okay.
improv either.
I
I
don't know if that's I don't know if
mean,
that's still in the show. I can't remember.
it's
It was
so good.
it was pretty
It's so
crazy.
good.
But it is a great show. It's a very unique story. I guarantee what I can you might not like it, but I guarantee
It's kind of like a Melrose Place meets Curb Your Enthusiasm meets like
on
it
acid, on LSD, on ayahuasca.
because of the animations.
Well,
The animations are so good
yeah,
in it, by the
yeah.
way. Like, that I really appreciated that. For me, for someone who has a very, my comedy filter being a part of this, I was like, I'm a rom-com sort of girl. Like, guy comedy it hits differently. And yet I still loved this. I still love the quirky, zany, over the topness of of it all. And it's just like seeing all of these characters that I remember from my generation, it kind of it has a nostalgic feeling that makes you automatically already love the show.
Yeah.
I said it's got a Curb Your Enthusiasm vibe. That was
Yes, it
exactly what
does.
I said
It
when I
does.
spoke to Billy
It
last
does.
week. I was like, it just the way that it unfolds. And also, can we just take a minute for your original music?
Oh yeah,
It's
I
also
did everything. We had no money for this, by the way. There was no money spent. So I had to do everything. We didn't have a real DP. We never had a real professional TV editor. I didn't have a composer, so I was the composer. I hired two separate I'm not acting, music teachers who could play lots of instruments. I just wanted one person, I can give him $500 and he could play 25 instruments. And we did it the old-fashioned way. We played the music to the screen like they used to do in like the 1940s. That's how we did it. And that's how we came up with the music for all of it. And it took a long time. That's why it's taken this a long time to get out because I didn't have a composer that could do it like in a month. This took us like 3 or 4 months of sitting
And
there.
you did the script. And you did the script.
Everything. I wrote it,
Everything.
directed it.
He's like the
And
wizard. He's like at the end of Oz when when you find Oz behind the curtain, just like with all these things, and just like that's Billy.
yeah,
Billy did all of this on his own. And it's such an incredible accomplishment for us right now to be here nearly 8 years later
yeah,
and it finally getting, the flowers that it deserves. We
yeah,
lost Tom. I want to be able to see this show be, released so that people can get the last few, acting gigs that Tom did and feel like, you know, the love that we poured into this can be received from the community because we worked so hard. He worked so hard on this. Randall worked so hard on this.
yeah. And we lost
Working so hard on this.
we've lost a lot of people. So Tom has passed, Sally Kirkland, also Corey Parker just passed. He's a phenomenal actor. He came
Sally
in.
Kirkland, okay? Okay.
So we lost a lot of great people. And I also want to mention who also did this for free, and I tried to give him something, was RJ Wagner, who's a legend, an icon. He flew in from Aspen on his own dime. I didn't have a trailer, didn't have anything for him. He had to sit in a little chair. He didn't care. And I said, hey, can I pay for the flight from? He goes, no, Billy, you can't afford me. Let me just do this as a favor to you. Don't worry about it. and I tried to pay for his flight at least, but he wouldn't take a dollar from me. So it was,
Billy, that's because that's how much we care about you, Billy. Things that you do, like, and we know you personally. I mean, I don't need to tell you the efforts that Billy does for animal rescue. And that's
that's
just,
my passion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not,
And
not,
I totally want to point out that you are donating some of the proceeds of this
yes.
to certain
What
charities. Yeah.
20% we're going to donate, and so that's why we're trying to sell it now on our own private server.
And we're working on getting some of those proceeds sent out to trans nonprofit organizations.
Right.
I
Claudia's
work
working
for
on
the
that.
Trans Latino, I
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I work for the
Claudia's
Trans Latina Coalition. They're down on Wilshire Boulevard, downtown in Koreatown. We offer services from housing to medical, dental. Um, it's a great space and place for the TGI community to get resources to their overall growth and development. And Billy has thankfully, so we're going to make some of those proceeds go to those organizations.
right. And as far as the rescue goes, we're doing Eastwood Ranch Foundation, which is Allison Eastwood's foundation. I'm on the board of directors. Allison and I have rescued lots of animals together. We had a show on National Geographic rescuing exotic animals. So we are helping Eastwood Ranch Foundation. We'll probably add other ones as time goes on, but right now we're starting with Eastwood because I'm there. At least I'll be there tomorrow, by the way. So yes, we're doing, we want to help, we want to make impact in the
We're
area.
really excited. Sorry. I mean, it's such a pleasure to meet you finally. I know you had a previous interview with Billy, and thank you for having me on the show. We need more allies for allowing trans visibility to be seen, accepted, so our voices can be heard and our stories can be told. So thank you for allowing us this platform.